Yeah, my name is Jan Stoop. I'm an associate professor in behavioral economics here at the Erasmus School of Economics. So when I came in at Tilburg University as a student, I wanted to be an accountant. Until I got my first class in accountancy, then I knew that I did not want to be an accountant. But we got these other economics courses, macroeconomics, microeconomics, and I loved that. So that's when I knew at least I wanted to be like a regular economist. For a long time, I wanted to be a professor, actually. So it's been a career goal of mine for quite some time. And yeah, it's really cool to see things work out. My favorite spot here, actually, to be honest, is where the piano is. And I love to play music in my spare time. I do like teaching the master students most because there's more interaction. Typically, the first year students are a bit shy. When it comes to the master, this is all gone, right? People stand up, and if I say something that they don't believe, then they challenge me, right? So that's, I love that a lot, yeah. Yeah, how do I prepare for teaching? So the master class I've been given now for about 10 years, so then there's less preparation there, although because of COVID, things changed a lot. So for 8 years or so, I would give the same story every week. But then COVID came and I videotaped everything. We'll show the videotapes, but that frees up time in class to go a bit more in depth in the material. And then actually I needed to prepare a lot more than I used to do. But that's great, that keeps you up on the top of your game, right? And then stay connected to the newest literature and whatnot. I'm trying to keep my students motivated to participate in class. And I think Mentimeter is actually a nice tool to do that. You start your class, you ask, are there any questions that people have? And then typically no one has questions, but I don't believe that, right? It must be that people have questions. Typically, when I was a student at least, I didn't dare to ask a question because I thought I would be perceived as being dumb. But at the same time, you know that if you have a question, then others will also have the same question. Yeah, for me, remote learning, I see a lot of possibilities. On the one hand, I like it a lot because I think at least for my courses, I can make it much more interactive, hoping that the students will learn more. On the other hand, of course, I know that just the real life experience, being on campus, being with your fellow students is also super important. So I think we need to find a way how to combine the two methods. So how do you come up with a research topic, right? That's an interesting question. Does a research question come first, or does the research method comes first? And I think I'm a person where first the method and then the question. So I just like to walk around, think about, seeing opportunities where, like an interesting question, for example, misdelivering envelopes, right? It's just something that I see happening, and then I think, how can I use this to do research? And then for me, usually the question comes second. So my advice for students who study, this sounds a bit silly and maybe also survivorship bias, do what you love. I know when I came in as a student at Tilburg University, I wanted to be an accountant because I've seen examples in my surroundings where people were filthy rich with becoming an accountant. But then I quickly found out that was not for me, and I took the courses that I loved, right? So for me, studying didn't feel like a burden. I just wanted to know what the books had to say, and especially when I came in touch with behavioral economics and doing experiments. And the same for my research. I want to know if people fake data, right? I want to know if people return misdelivered envelopes stuffed with cash. That's my passion. But I always feel a bit silly by saying that because there's a bit of survivorship bias, right? I made it this way, and therefore I think that the whole world is like that, and I know that it's not always like that. But yeah, it's the best advice I can give still.